Next, eighth graders, can you give a round of applause to your families because they helped you make it. They helped you get here today. So thank you, families. Good morning to our Stonegate families, teachers, guests, special guests who are promoting from our eighth grade and on to high school. This is a very special day for both our eighth graders and their families. We'd like to welcome each and every one of you who have come out to celebrate with us today. On behalf of our entire Stonegate family, we welcome you to our 2020-2021 eighth grade promotion. Today is all about recognizing and celebrating our eighth graders. To this year's eighth graders, I salute each and every one of you for the unimaginable tasks that you were asked to do during your eighth grade year. You ended your seventh grade year with unknowns and isolation. You started your eighth grade year with more confusion and uncertainty. Your first day of your last year at Stonegate began behind a screen where oftentimes you looked at either names or images for your classmates, as cameras were not so cool. As we neared the end of our eighth grade, we were able to bring you back on campus 4 days a week for a few hours a day. Hearing your voices and laughter on campus, seeing you play wall ball, seeing students in classrooms and gather together under the solar panel before school started each day brought joy to myself and so many more. You know that each and every one of you will do well in your futures because you have risen above what many of us could never imagine. I hope that you took time to reflect and journal your past year's experience so that in your future, you can open up that book and remember all of the triumphs you overcame during the 2020-2021 eighth grade year. You have experienced loss, isolation, racial inequities, experienced a pandemic, virtual learning, hybrid learning, simulcasting, mask wearing, social distancing, how to communicate and advocate for yourself, and so much more. We are so proud of you. As parents, family members, and teachers, we put a lot of time and energy into preparing our children for their futures, and rightly so. We do indeed need to equip our children with lifelong skills to prepare them for adulthood. It is our collective responsibility as we guide and mold the leaders of tomorrow, for it is them that the future will have to depend on. This year, even your parents, guardians, family members, and teachers struggle with preparing you for your future when we were all experiencing something new. However, hold on to the good and not so good memories that you have experienced this past year. These too will help shape and mold your future. Today, as we pay tribute to the young ladies and gentlemen of tomorrow, we know that they have started their remarkable journey towards achieving this goal. They have learned so much. They have remained eager and enthusiastic, and they have grown in so many ways. Our thanks and appreciation to our teachers, parents, family members for the fantastic role that you have all played to facilitate this process, for it truly takes a village. To our eighth graders, each and every one of you have worked very hard to learn more every day. You have played hard, made new friends, lost friends, experienced a crash course 6th through 8th grade sports season, created many projects, learned to collaborate in the virtual setting, serviced both the Stonegate community and the West Sacramento community through leadership, taken many assessments, challenged yourselves, cried, laughed, cried some more, and made many memories during your time here at Stonegate. You should feel very proud of all you have done this past year, as it hasn't been done before, and the years shared here at Stonegate as well. I'm going to share one of my favorite quotes. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind, they don't matter, and those who matter, they don't mind. Wherever each of you start your high school journey, we don't say goodbye or good luck. We say we wish you well on your new adventure. The future holds no promises, but rather mysteries and surprises. What you've learned so far will prepare you for both. Congratulations on all the best for the future. Thank you.
Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, I am Miss Rivers, and I taught your student history. So It has been definitely a year, and we have finally reached the end of our 2021 school year. And one thing is for certain, it has been a year that we will never forget. And although it's one that we didn't expect, we are so proud of all of you for showing your determination and follow through to get to this point. I'm so happy that we were able to see you all in person, even if it was for a portion of the second semester. And even though this year has been especially trying for all of us, when I think back to all that has occurred since we started school, we, all the teachers, are filled with happy memories. In English, you discussed the value of rebellion and followed Katniss on her journey to do what is right in the Hunger Games. Miss Hines convinced you all that poetry is valuable. In history, we learned about taxation of the colonies when you all thought you had to start paying for your school supplies, and the mysterious breakup email that represented the Declaration of Independence. You also learned about the Bill of Rights and turned those lessons into a petition that went through almost all of the 8th grade students, even though second period students had to workshop the name numerous times. In math, you solved equations that seemed impossible at first and shared laughs. You used your creativity to complete one-pagers, and you worked as a team to become critical thinkers. In science, you competed against your family by playing natural selection games and had the opportunity to build bottle rocket cars. While all of these academic lessons were memorable, what I will remember most about this class is your ability to laugh, be understanding, and incredible determination. I have seen you create new friendships in a virtual space, which is pretty amazing when you think about it, because half of their cameras were not on. Witnessed you welcome new 8th grade students and make them feel like they are a part of the C-Quad family. And I have received work that has surpassed any expectation I could have set. You have been incredible leaders and people on this campus. Usually teachers only keep their first year teaching as the year they will never forget. But I can most assuredly say that we will always remember this class. And not just because we were virtual for a majority of the time, but because you all are so determined, understanding, and most importantly, kind. We hope you take all you have learned during this year and apply it to your future goals. I cannot wait to see all the amazing things that I know you will accomplish as you move on to your next adventure. And we are all so incredibly proud of you. Thank you.
I'd like to take a moment to introduce our special guest. This morning we have our superintendent, Ms. Cheryl Hildreth. Dr. Hildreth, if you'd like to wave or stand, thank you for joining us. We also have our Director of Student Services, Dr. Burns, joined us, came back to the line, Ohana. And we have our Director of Technology, Ms. Amanda Dibblvis, who's over here. So thank you for joining us with our 8th grade promotion today.
Hello everyone, my name is Jeremiah Dupuy. I'm going to start off by saying that Stonegate was one of the best things that has ever happened to me. Stonegate has brought some highs and lows, but the better things were the most memorable. I've had so much fun, and the majority of my best memories come from Stonegate. Yes, I was known as a class clown, but even with getting in trouble in my many first years of being a Lion, I found ways to have fun. I am one of the many people who actually enjoys staying in school hours a day, but I'm proud to say that. I have improved so much, and I have become so much smarter because of the help and education I have received from Stonegate. I indeed have had my best moments, and yes, some of my worst. Even though school isn't the same as it used to be, and probably will never be like it used to be, Stonegate is just the best place to be. I remember playing football every day during lunch, Pokemon cards in the 3rd grade, and going on field trips every once in a while with the class. All the field days, quarter awards, and all of the school dances. All of the days in visual and performing arts when I learned how to play a couple of instruments, and also how to get better at drawing and making projects for all the other classes. Trying out for school sports, and even carrying textbooks and notebooks and planners around all day in a very heavy backpack. All of the days I would study in the library with my friends, when I'd have conversations with the yard duties, and finally when Kevin Bracey would come to Stonegate and motivate the students to never give up and to be smart with their life choices, while also explaining his experiences with how he learned his life lessons to give a little first-person insight. All of these things that I remembered is what helped me get through school and excel. I would like to thank the principal for coordinating a successful virtual learning experience. I would also like to thank the teachers for putting up with us crazy students through in-person school and through virtual school. These teachers had to wake up early in the morning and come to school so they could set up and get ready for the day ahead. I know it wasn't easy, but they sure did a wonderful job. I would also like to thank the parents for getting their kids to school and helping them throughout the way. Virtual school was not easy to work with, and I'm just glad that we can go back to in-person and feel like normal humans again, sort of. There is no other place I would have wanted those memories to be. Everything about Stonegate made me a better student, a better person, and a stronger lion. Promoting into high school is sure going to help me throughout my life, and Stonegate has prepared me greatly for the future. I'm proud to say that I am a lion, and I will never forget Stonegate. Once a lion, always a lion.
Good morning, fellow classmates, teachers, staff, and parents. The dictionary definition of promotion is the act of being raised in position or rank, or the act of furthering the growth or development of something. The second definition fits a lot better for this event, seeing as how we are leaving middle school and progressing into high school. It may seem like we are only in 8th grade, but we are already in 8th grade. We went through kindergarten, some through TK, and then 8 more years following that. That's basically 10 years in school. Some of us have spent all 10 years at this school. Some have traveled through different schools. I spent all 3 years of my middle school at Stonegate. But either way, we have made friendships that will last, hopefully. I remember my first day at this school very clearly. It was 6th grade, first period. I walked into Mr. Domick's class, and I was a little late, so I thought everyone was staring at me. I literally knew no one and was so shy. It was maybe the scariest day of my life. But now I can't think of a person in our grade who I can't walk up to and say hi or just randomly high-five them. We have been through so many weird and fun experiences as a class. Slide Park, taking care of worms, the Exploratorium in 7th grade, and a super different way of doing school, virtual learning. All that plus more, and we are about to leave the school where it all happened. But it definitely wouldn't have happened without the teachers and the staff who have been there the whole way through. Thank you to the teachers who had to wake up in the mornings and actually have to look good because they had to log into Zoom and turn on their cameras. Thank you to the 8th grade teachers who had to put up with us throughout all the Zoom classes and then actually had to see us in person. Thank you to the cafeteria staff who provided lunch even through COVID and stood outside in the heat giving it out. Thank you to the principal and vice principal for making online and in-person school happen and work. Thank you to Ms. Mendenhall for making volleyball happen even when she had to coach high school softball at the same time. But most of all, thank you to my classmates and friends who were there through all of the weird and fun experiences. Special thank you to May, Lydia, Josh, Peyton, and Azzy for sticking with me through this 8th grade year and being there for me. Thank you, everyone, and I hope to have an even better high school experience with you all. Goodbye.
Okay, sorry. Hello, everyone. My name is Azriel Mendez. I'm going to be talking a considerable amount, so bear with me. Today, my fellow classmates and I will be promoting from 8th grade, but I'm guessing you already know that. Though I have a lot to say about my time at Stonegate, I guess I should keep it short and simple. Throughout the many years I spent at Stonegate, there has been some rough times, like when in 5th grade I spilled slime on Mrs. Boyd's carpet and tried to hide it by putting my brand new backpack on it, only for it to stick to my backpack and stain it. Or when I broke my wrist in 4th grade falling over at basketball. But there has been some good times, like meeting new people in 2nd grade or having pizza parties because we were the best class. I remember when I first came to Stonegate, I was so scared that I didn't talk to anyone. But when one of my best friends came up to me and asked if I would play Foursquare with her, I knew I'd be all right. And now, over 4 years later, we're still friends laughing at our younger selves. Speaking of younger selves, I never knew how funny I was until my mom showed me some old videos of me. I then realized it's naturally occurring, although my family begs to differ. And as I say this about family, I do have family promoting with me. And I have to say, she's runner-up next to me. But she also has made it tolerable coming to school every day. She's handled me throughout the worst of nights and throughout the worst of fights. When we were kids, I would always be annoying and telling her for the littlest of things. and to this day I still don't know why she tolerates me. But I'm glad she stayed and looked past my flaws. I know, she has no choice. So as I stand here talking about my friends and family, I want to say thank you to my classmates for making the years through elementary and middle school fun and chaotic. I can't wait to graduate with you guys in 4 years.
Hello and good morning, Stonegate families, teachers, and students. At first, I wasn't sure about giving a speech in front of all of you, but then my friends encouraged me to give it a shot and share my experiences. And you probably hear about some of their experiences as well. Most, if not all, my friends have been here for only 3 to 4 years, but I have been here since the start of my education. If you don't know me, my name is Lydia Lapuga, and I have been here for about 9 years. During these years, I have gained and lost friends, learned some valuable skills, and created memories that will last a lifetime. First off, I would like to say thank you to a couple of people. Thank you to Mrs. Arnold for starting off my education and giving me a love of reading. Thank you to all the school nurses that have worked here over the past few years that helped me manage my diabetes during school. Thank you to all the teachers that actually had to make an effort in their appearance during online school while the rest of us did school in our PJs. And thank you to my parents for always being there to take me to my band concerts as well as other activities and supporting me in everything I do. One story that comes to mind when asked what my Stonegate experience has been like is when I first started middle school. The first day of middle school was an exciting experience for me. I was so excited that I decided to bring all my binders and notebooks and all the school supplies you can think of on the first day of school. I was both excited and nervous for something so new, changing classes every hour, getting to sit wherever I wanted at lunch, and finally being able to try out for school sports, even though I never made it. And I'm guessing it was similar for all of you as well. But one thing that made me feel better were all my friends that had also decided to pack all their school supplies in their backpacks. So we went around school complaining that our backs hurt from carrying all these notebooks and binders. Stonegate has been a place where I have made close friends that I hope to keep, and a place where I've learned to love school and learning. Thank you to all our friends that stuck with us and supported us throughout these years. 6th grade was the beginning of growing up. We weren't in elementary school anymore. It was the start of a new experience for all of us. Now that we're in 8th grade, that experience is coming to an end. 2-3 months ago, we got to choose what classes we wanted to take in high school, marking the beginning of the end. We spent a good week or two discussing all the new electives and classes we could take starting next year, and to be honest, it overwhelmed me. So many classes, and I had to decide which ones to take. It seemed like a big responsibility having to decide the beginning of my future, as I guess it was for most of you. But just remember that Dr. Seuss once said, only you can control your future. So continue to control your future and make it what you want. Thank you for your time. Good luck and congratulations.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Another round of applause for our student speakers. That takes a lot of bravery, let me just tell you. That is fantastic. You guys did a great job. All right. Okay. It is my pleasure to announce our promoting 8th graders. First row. Families, just a reminder, we do need everyone to stay in their seats, please, while you're here when we're calling the students, and all masks need to remain on. Thank you for your understanding. All right, here we go, friends. First up, Isaac Andrews. Logan Tyler Benayat. Jaden Barkal. Xavier Baron.
Elijah Benzanson. Jack Biala. Maximus Bustos. Alan Cabrera Fan. Haley Carter. Xavier Claxton. Molly Cochran. Angelia Cole. Joshua Crane. Quentin Dawes. All right. Second row, let's do it. Ethan DeYoung. Jeremiah Dupuy. Ayani Diaz. Mariana Estrada. Camila Garcia Rubio. Edward Glens. Leonard Gomez Brown. Caden Gonzalez. Christ Guevara Miranda. Lauren Hawkins. Fabián Hernández Ortiz. Melanie Huerta. Rayhan Hussein. Isaiah Jordan. Fardeen Kakar. Just a heads up that you will have an opportunity to take pictures at the end. All right, let's do it, third row. Alexander Chow. Nicole Kapakli. Jackson Kimball. Prisha Kumar. Aisha Lakan. Benjamin Lancaster. Lydia Lapuga. Connor Luke. Dustin McCall. McNeely. Roxana Medina. Azriel Mendez. Joshua Mendez. Caitlin Mo. Kiera Montesinos. Jaden Moorer. All right. Need one more chair there. We lost one. It is my pleasure to present to you our 8th grade 2020-2021 promoting class at Stonegate Elementary. Nice job.
You could call on me. You could fall on me. And if you want to, tell me what you gon' do. You could put it all on me.